After diving into the beta, one thing is clear. DICE has answered the call for fans craving a return to form. But a burning question remains in my mind. Is this a true evolution of the Battlefield formula, or just a polished remake of Battlefield 4? The map design immediately caught my attention, and not entirely for the right reasons. These environments are dense and detailed, but surprisingly compact. Jumping into Conquest, I expected the classic Battlefield mix of vehicle and infantry combat. Instead, I found myself in tight, urban spaces that heavily favored close quarters combat. The result? Sniper classes didn't feel welcome, and tank gameplay offered moments of fun, but the beta map's limited scale left me wanting something more expansive. Make no mistake, despite these limitations, the gameplay still hooked me. I had a great time turning a corner blasting somebody with my shotgun, or holding down the trigger with my light machine gun until a fury of bullets eventually got me a kill. And the destruction remains spectacular too. Buildings crumble, debris flies around the screen, and rubble builds up on the streets. It's a special combination with the updated visuals, and it's an overall upgrade on this signature experience. The sound design remains top-notch too. Bullets have great dynamic range, whizzing by your ear, or echoing as a distant drumbeat. Sounds of explosions and vehicles resonate with a satisfying intensity. No surprise, DICE excels here. Diving into some other game modes though, I wanted to break away from my Conquest comfort zone. Breakpoint feels familiar, defending or capturing points to advance across map sectors with 64 players. The idea is this leads to higher adrenaline gameplay, but my main issue remains the same. The map feels uncomfortably small scale. I also tried out Domination and King of the Hill. I gotta be honest, they both felt like the exact same mode. Here's where we might differ though. I don't come to Battlefield for small scale matches. I want something bigger, and these modes don't do it for me. But hey, to be honest, I'm not the target player for these types of matches anyways. Alright, let's get back to Conquest, which I still feel like is the main draw, but that is a bit of a double-edged sword. I'm thinking back to Battlefield 1 here. There were a ton of game modes, and not all of them had staying power, but I applauded the creativity. It felt like the developers were trying something new, while still having classic modes to fall back on. Ultimately, maybe Battlefield 6 doesn't need any of that. And that's my main takeaway from the Battlefield 6 beta so far. It feels familiar in a good way, but is it really moving the needle? Well, DICE has teased Battlefield Portal, but my concern is that will be more like Halo Forge rather than a core gameplay mode experience. I had a great time with the beta so far, but I'm conflicted about its $70 price tag, and with the leaked expectations of 100 million players, I'm wondering if nostalgia for Battlefield 3 and 4 can truly carry this series forward. At least DICE is listening though. They've created 2 Conquest modes to playtest locking class weapons, they've acknowledged balancing issues, and promised a more substantial single-player experience. The game looks stunning and runs smooth on modest PC hardware. The bones of a great experience are here, but I won't make a definitive conclusion based on this beta. For longtime fans like myself, there's a sense of relief seeing Battlefield return to form. I remain cautiously optimistic, leaving the beta with more questions than answers. I'm ready to dive into the second beta weekend and see where this thing goes. I'm craving more Battlefield and eager to see the series re-enter the multiplayer spotlight.